Shalom, all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect. Bashem Chakwadash. My name is Jacobo from Plaintables Camp. And this is the apostles video. The blessings of Abraham might come on the Gentiles. I believe Paul made that statement. And he gets that from various scriptures, but notably Genesis 12th chapter. Talks about and Abraham shall all of the families of the earth be blessed, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, it says it right here, yeah. 12th chapter, 3rd verse of Genesis. So we're going to go into the apostles video.
Anyway, I'm going to entitle this video, "And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed." And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. Future tense. This is Genesis 12 verse 3. I may even...
And you know it proves that it's talking about the Israelites. There's not one time that Abraham ever taught any heathen, any Canaanite. You can't find one record of Abram, going to the Canaanites and teaching them and saying, you know, if you convert to be one of the sons of God, which you can't do that anyway, you'll be saved. All right. He went and slaughtered them. He didn't say, well, look, if you give Lot back, give him back, then you know you'll inherit the blessings. No, he went in there with his army and slaughtered those Canaanites. So the blessings of Abraham are referring to his seed in the future. It's clearly talking about his seed in the future. There's no league of religion or culture that Israelites in their righteous state anyway has ever made with these other nations, so they could become Israelites also, become a Jew, as that's a more popular term. All right. The blessings of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob went on the seed of the Israelites that fell asleep, figuratively fell asleep, lost our identity, lost our heritage and culture. When that happens, you become a Gentile. The heathen are going into slavery 100%. You can't repent from going into slavery if you're an actual Gentile. But what are you repenting to? Your culture is not that of Israel, of keeping the law and the faith of Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shai.
Go to 1 and read down a couple of verses below the 3rd, and we're going to break this. We're going to break this down, and we're going to prove to you, as Marshall would say, we're going to prove to you that the families that shall be blessed, because we're not blessed now, the families that shall be blessed. Floyd Mayweather's not blessed.
Yeah, right now, like the apostle would say, our blessing is on pause. All right. In our beginnings, we were blessed. We had the garden. Then we degraded. Then we had the kingdom of David. All right. Well, we had the various judges, but we were constantly going in and out of captivity. Then we had the kingdom of Saul. That's when we started to come up. All right. And then David, Moses, the wilderness. We were coming up. We were getting the land, but we went down again. All right, through the various kings of Israel, our ancestors. All right, so he made it through Moses, made it through the judges, various ups and downs. All right, we had land, we had slaves. All right, we had a community, so to speak. All right, we had the Urim and the Thummim, and now we fell asleep and we became Gentiles. All right, so we had the 40 years of peace with Solomon, but then we fell asleep. All right. We made subject to the Greco-Roman Empire. All right. And that time we weren't blessed. We may have won some battles and wars, but we didn't have true sovereignty like we had in the ancient world. And then the blessings are beyond what we had in the past. The blessings that the Father is talking about. It's beyond what we had in the past. What Ezekiel says that he's going to do better to us than at our beginning. That's the blessings. That's the blessings. All right. So it's beyond what we received in the past.
Michael Jordan is not blessed. The elite of Europeans.
Yeah, Oprah. Oprah is not blessed. Oprah is still under the authority of Esau Edom, Dwayne Johnson, Jason Statham. All right. Brad Pitt, you know, whom I think are Israelites. They're not blessed. They are not blessed. All right. The elite, they're blessed. The Esau Edom, these up and down the street, you know, Joe Six Pack, they're not blessed. All right. They're subject to taxes, even though they can call you N word and the so-called cleaning word for the Latino community. All right. The derogatory term. They can say all that stuff and call the cops and all. The cops come arrest their ass.
So-called Edomites, not so-called Edomites, but white people, so Edomites, the super elite, they're blessed. They're blessed. The Pope is blessed because you got to bow down to him. Right. Now that Pope, the current Pope, might be a Jake. We don't know. He kind of looks a little swarthy to me. So anyway, let's go to the first verse. And this is okay. Abram's journey.
Well, Esau does like going to South America and Asia and spreading his seed amongst the natives. So it could be that on his mother's side.
To Mizraim. Now it should say to Egypt, but it should say Mizraim. Did I say Mizraim? I'm not realizing it. This is also in Acts 7:2-5. This is when Stephen cursed out the Israelites that came out of Alexandria, Egypt, of Mizraim.
Earlier, I said Paul had said this. I think Paul did say this similar statement, or at least alluded to it. But he's pointing out here that it does show up in Acts 7. So I believe that's Stephan. Let's look at it real quick. Psalms 23. Acts 7. What was it? To the fifth verse. Mesopotamia, father, country, kindred Chaldees. Then came he out to the Chaldeans in Haran. Esau pronounces it the Ha. They say they pronounce it with a Ka, I believe. Esau's Hebrew, if I'm not mistaken. And he gave him none inheritance in it, no, not as much as so he set his foot on. Yet he promised that he would give it him for a possession, and his seed after him, when as yet he had no child. Oh, so that's what the apostle's saying. He's saying basically the blue letter knows it. I believe that's what the apostle's going to allude to. All right. Let's see. 7:2-5. Acts. Abram's journey to Egypt. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curseth thee, and in thee shall all the families of the earth be blessed. Acts 7:2-5. And you can see here it doesn't speak about the Gentiles being not Israelites. It talks about his seed. All right. Now it doesn't have to specifically say Abraham's seed. It can simply say the word Gentile because that's referring to Abraham's seed that is not who don't know who they are, who have lost their religion, their heritage, and culture, and that have recently come back to the faith. All right. And even if they don't come back to the faith, they're going to receive the blessings anyway. As the scripture says, all Israel shall be saved. The Messiah was manifest to take away the sins of the Israelites, no matter if they were righteous or wicked.
And the Mizraim for the Passover, for the weeks, and for the tabernacles. So when he cursed them out, that was during the time of the the Feast of Weeks. In the midst of the Feast of Weeks. Now it says, and I'm going to show you a video that these Christians, they're getting cornered. The walls are closing in on these Christians. I'm going to show you that in a minute in this video. And this video inspired me to do this video. Now, Yahweh, when you come across that word, you got to say Yahweh. You got to explain it. Somebody might say, well, why is Lord all caps? Yahweh. Sometimes Lord is cap, lowercase, or RD. Well, there's a difference. Or God, capital G, O, O-D, or lowercase g, O-D. There's a difference, and Christians don't understand that. Like if you told a Christian, Genesis 1, verse 1, when it said in the beginning God created the heavens and earth, what does that mean? They don't know. They don't know. As a matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm sorry. Let me go a little different direction for a minute. For a quick minute. That was going into Deuteronomy 22, 28 to 29, which all the Israelites are afraid to go into that. In the beginning, yeah, they got a lot to say. Wow, look at that. You know, when Cambridge gives you a lot of information, they're real confident as to the answer that they're giving you. The beginning of all things, the first creation in the beginning, right? Bereshith, which in the Hebrew is
beginning, not of all things, our beginnings.
Bara-ash-yath. Not bara.
Well, that's the Esau's Hebrew. That's Esau's Hebrew. He said not Ba'ashra. That's Esau's Hebrew. Like Elohim, that's Esau's Hebrew.
Bara-ash. In the headings.
Remember, we are the real Jews and Israelites. All right, Jews being the Judah, Benjamin, Levi, and certain of the northern kingdom scattered within, and the kingdom of Israel, which makes up the nation or kingdom of Israel as a whole.
The opening and express word. The opening word expresses the idea of the earliest time imaginable. It contains no allusion to the blah 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 creation. Okay, let's see what this is all about. The opening words of John's.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be an exact science, and the people they're and I'm glad the Cambridge said this. They're the devil anyway, but they tell the truth sometimes. Yeah, it's not an exact science, but simple, concrete, and unscientific narrative. And that's what the Genesis is supposed to be. It's not supposed to be a step-by-step breakdown on every exact detail that happened. That's not what the Genesis, the first, second, and third chapter, fourth, fifth chapter is supposed to explain. It's supposed to give us a simple understanding, a parable about what happened in our beginning, not a complete, exact detail of our beginning. It says that here on the right. Let me move me out the way. On the top right, in the beginning, you can pause it and read that first paragraph. All right, and that's accurate. Mostly accurate.
Gospel, right? John 1 and 1, Genesis 1 and 1, are based upon the clause, but John refers to. They not give me nothing. I want to get okay. Good. Now let's come over here. I think they want to say something in the Hebrew Bible, the book. Now, if you notice, these commentators, they'll go. If you go to the Hebrew, or if you go to the Greek, or if you go to this map, or if you go to that map, or this time in history and that time in history, in the Hebrew Bible, the book of Genesis or Barashith or Bara-ash-yath, right? Barashith is called. The small hats say Barashith in the beginning, in the headings actually. Deriving its title from the first word, God. Dios,
Yes, in the Greek.
Elohim. The him makes it, yum makes it plural. So the word there should be gods, the gods. See instructions on the name of God. The narrative begins with a statement assuming the existence of the deity. It should be deities. It is not a matter of discussion, argument, or doubt. The Israelites' cosmogony differs. I'll give you a lot of word salad here. I ain't breaking down nothing.
Yes,
the beginning, I tell you the same thing about a sheath, right? Beginning absolute may have antedated by an indefinite period. God, Elohim, Elohim, if you know the Hebrew, or Elohim, means gods. The highest being to be feared? Nope. From Allah. None of these guys are saying it's so far.
it would be Yahweh Elohim or Yahweh Elohim, variation of Elohim, but it means like Most High God. Like a phrase.
Okay, so they say the word Elohim, Elohim, a word plural in form. They said it. It was just Ellicott's commentary for English readers. God, Elohim, a word plural in form, but joined with a verb singular. Right, the verb singular is God. The E makes it gods. Elohim is not to be regarded as, in the name Elohim, it included in one person all the powers, mights, and influences by which the word. Okay, so they're pretty close. Okay, what's this here? It says it again, and they got it in the Hebrew. Elohim, or
Allah,
Allahayim, or they would say Elohim.
And yeah, Allah.
El is Allah, which means God. Men on earth, the Israelites, these Israelite men are gods. This was at Psalms 82 and 6, if I'm not mistaken. Here and elsewhere, translate God, considered by many learned men as signifying God in a covenant. So all holy scriptures being a name, sometimes being to the false gods of the heathens, who were many, and to the angels and magistrates, who are also occasionally called Elohim. Right, they're right. Benson got it. Benson commentary got it. If you notice, they wrote it out in the Hebrew. You read Hebrew from right to left. Allah, which is God or the God, or the Yum makes it the gods. Okay, so now let's come back over here.
Say Allah.
So we're back in the main, subject. Now
Allah,
Yahweh,
I would say Allah,
had said unto Abram, his name was changed to Abraham. Abram meaning Abba, Ram meaning exalted ram. As we get the ram, there's an animal called a ram. That's a Hebrew word, ram. Got to dodge ram. They don't know that the dodge ram. The word ram is a Hebrew word,
or exalted,
which means
height.
exalted.
Exalted height.
Because rams are exalted on the mountains.
Yeah, exalted height.
So Abram, Abba means father, high father, exalted father. Abraham is Abraham, which is Abba, which is a father. Abba Raham, I believe it's Raham or Raham. I gotta look it up. It means multitude. Get thee out of thy country.
What
country was he born in? He was born the father's terror.
A
And
war? Was it a war?
he was born and raised in Ur of the Chaldees.
Well,
When you
yeah,
go,
yeah,
let
or
me
is
see, north, west,
a war?
more
I
north.
mean, light, or like city of light, or light.
You go through Mesopotamia into Haran, and then he went from Haran down into Canaan, which is Israel, into so-called Egypt. Christians don't know this. The average Christian don't know it, and the walls are closing in on these clown-ass Christians. The only ones that they can kind of debate and go head to head with us are these scholars, and they looking stupid.
Yeah, they got theories, and they have theories about what it is. Sometimes they get it right, sometimes they get it wrong. All right, so we are going to be blessed. We are going to be blessed. And you saw Psalms 23 earlier, if you remember. Oh, Jim Grill, okay.
They're looking for your
Psalms 23, a psalm of David. Yahweh is my shepherd, I shall not want. Let's look up want. La Kasar. I shall not be without. Lacking, lacking. To lack. This is a state of lacking. Cause you lacking. The state of being diminished. All right. La'ah, no. Lack. No lack. All right. And we got Yahweh. Yahweh is my shepherd. I mean, he's going to guide us. He will send his angels to guide us. All right. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. This is the blessing. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. What is his name? What is his son's name? If thou canst tell. All right. This is the kingdom. We're going to experience this in the kingdom. We're going to have land, safety, security. We're not going to lack. Yeah, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, which is America, all right, it's Babylon. I will fear no evil, for thou art with me, thy rod, thy staff, that comfort me. So we're not ignorant. We're not ignorant of Satan's devices. All right. That's evil. Being ignorant is evil. All right. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. A full cup of wine, a full cup, are rich and aged. All right. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of Yahweh forever. Oh, let's look that up. Let's look. Yahweh La Arak. Days. Okay. Oh, man. Yum, yum, yum. Yum, yum, yum. Yum, yum. That's ma, and then ma final. Yum, yum. Days. Yahweh. Let's see. Yahweh. Get off of that. Okay, let me just refresh it. It keeps selecting it. So Yahweh forever. Forever days. Okay. Yahweh forever days. All right. Yeah. So there's going to be no more. We're going to have to fight. We have to go out and preach. All right. We're not going to do that in the kingdom. Kingdom is 100 is maximum pleasure and bliss. Maximum pleasure and bliss. That's what the kingdom's about. All right. And then there is going to be a day that we're going to mourn over Yahweh body. It being mangled and beat up and abused. We're going to mourn over his body. All right. So we'll look into that word forever. So it's a rock. A rock. Length, physical length, length of time. Forever length long. All right. Days of my life, I would dwell in the house in ba house bayath. So bayath, Yahweh, long length time, days. All right. Or forever. All right. That's how you break that down. Let's see what they're saying. I believe this has commentary. Green pastures, commentaries. What verse is that? It's the second verse. I'm not gonna go ask Chat. The apostle does that. Or you got Gemini. You got my Anthropic, Claude. Claude. I like Claude. I like all of them, but I like Claude and well, they all do different stuff. Good. Okay, so let's say that. Bible says 1 to 3 meaning. Let's say that. Let's see what they say. Explicitly describes of as David the word of Psalm in the beginning proclamation. The Lord is my shepherd. Yahweh, it's Yahweh. It's translated here. The Lord is often in the scriptures. The existing one. Okay, that's pretty good translation. In Jewish tradition, the name was unpronounced, which is a lie. That is a complete lie. The name is unpronounced. It is an acknowledgement. Okay, come on. Can we get to what it means? They're bullshit. Okay. Significance, culture, religion, metaphor of their time. Architecture-based society was similar to the role of shepherds to guide and protect the sheep. Religious Judea that's made up. Judaism, there's no such thing as Judaism. Contains many characters. All right, implication. Okay, they're not being direct. Okay, let's do this. Control F. Green. Green pastures. Okay, it's a lot of they're doing a lot of explaining. All right, the shepherd makes me lie down in green pastures by having a guide, a protector, a shepherd who knows better, who keeps better than look after me. It allows an enhanced moment of freedom and peace. A phrase green pastures comes from two Hebrew words, translated grass, habitation and home. Okay, green, rest and provision. Provision of green pastures, the picture he always has what we need, regardless of how circumstances might appear. Okay, let's go to cup. This is a cup, right? Cup, or no, it's just not the right. We can possess to whatever. So, yeah, my cup runneth over. It's overabundance, more than what we need. It's other obvious implications. Across commentaries. It's the 5th verse, Guzik 4-6. Let's go to Control F, cup. David continues with my cup overflows. Another simple metaphor of abundance. The cup represents life made useful, meaning what may fills it. So this is when you're actually blessed. All right, that's the point of this video. When we get to the kingdom, we're going to be blessed. Overflows only appears twice in all scripture, where it is translated as wealthy. Yeah, we're going to be so wealthy that we're not even going to have uh, slaves, but we are anyway. Right? 'Cause they're going to do the work. We're not going to do any work. All right, so yeah, we do got to have slaves. Well, I guess we can use spiritual power actually. We don't actually need slaves, but that's part of the blessing. Slaves. All right. The message is clear even in the presence of distress, under uh, duress from enemies and difficulties, which we're not going to have any enemies. As great as the valley of shadow of death. Okay, so yeah, overabundance, more than what we need actually to survive. Wealth, all right, and slaves. They say anything about slaves. All right, well they did. No, that's Psalm 66. I thought I said Isaiah 66. And did I have another one? Oh, Psalm 16. All right, it says Yahweh is my portion, is the portion of my inheritance, and my cup. Thou maintainest my lot. That's like a lot. His position, his land, his reputation, recompense, portion. All right. His blessing. All right. And we have the keys of David. So that's what a blessing is. A blessing is not having a bunch of money and you got to pay taxes. You got no, you can still get arrested by the cops. You can get sick. You can die. All right. We're going to be no death. We're going to have every precious stone imaginable and unimaginable. We're going to have cool warmth, no working at all, no chores, and no worry. We're going to have ultimate authority. That's actual blessing, not our current state. All right. Blessing is beyond what we have now. Is and beyond what Esau has too, because Esau he can still get sick and die. All right, but he is blessed. All right, relative to everyone else. All right, so I hope you're edified. Shalom.